Hi everyone, welcome back, and we're going to be talking about setting up a constant contact email. This is the exciting part. We're going to click campaigns, and that's how we get started. All right, you're probably going to see a different screen if you haven't created anything. I've been playing around in mine. In any case, we're going to go up to that orange button and click create. And then we're going to choose send an email. Send an email. Create and send an email. We get all these wonderful choices here of all the templates. Look at this. You could spend an hour on this. But what we're going to do is select this one right here on the top right because it looks pretty close to what we need. All right. So the very first thing we need to do once we get into this screen is we need to edit, and this is a personal name. It won't appear anywhere on the email, and but this is just for file purposes to keep things straight. So if you have a weekly newsletter, I would probably just call this the weekly newsletter and then put the date, and then that way you can tell when you need to be sending it out in case you're going to be queuing a bunch of stuff up. So I'm just hitting the tab button here. That'll save that field just by moving off of it. And now we're just going to go from top to bottom, and we're going to start editing this email so that it's correct. Clicking on header options, the main thing we need to do here is enter the subject line. Everything else should be set up because we already did that in settings on the previous video. So let's do an exciting subject line, 5 cash flow tips. All right, and we're going to click OK. And there we go right there. So there's the subject line, definitely an important part of the email. In the logo section, we do need to add our logo. Actually, I recommend a banner, and it does say width of 300 pixels, but it's going to modify it. Actually, right here is the width of 300. We're going to have a banner that goes the entire way. Let me see if we can make that work here. And first thing you need to do is hit the pencil. That stands for edit. And you get into that particular block to edit. So each individual block, you have a little area that controls it. This is the little box that comes up. Typically, we would use a lot of the stuff up here, but since this is an image, we're going to go straight to the gear icon that is going to be in the top right corner of the image that's set for this box. We're going to click that and click change. And what we want to do, remember that we actually uploaded a banner the last time. So we actually want to use this banner. When I mouse over it, it gives me the insert choice. So let's just click that. And there we go right there. All right, so there's our banner. That'll work out just great. And we can click save and go on from there. All right, we can straighten that out a little bit later. Let's get a little bit farther in the email. And I don't want this section at all. So if I click on this, actually I can delete it from here. I just click on the X and I can delete the entire block. All right, so there we are so far. And we want to leave this contact first name in there because that's what's going to grab the first name. So that's like a form field that you want to keep. And we're going to hit this edit button, and that's all we do is we can go in and copy the text. And here's my newsletter. And of course, you're probably going to want to do this in Word before and then that way you can just paste it. All right, and then you can format it using the very standard kind of word processing tools that you have here. It should be fairly easy to see what to do in terms of that. All right, and you may have just one or two sections. In this case, it's separated by 2 sections, and this is the closing. I don't really see a need to edit this too much. And your contact information, your address, will actually paste down here. I believe this should change. So let's click Save, and that's all we need to do to create our newsletter. All right, so I just want to show you the very basics. We'll come back and we'll tweak some of this stuff that doesn't look very good, but I want to show you the overall kind of process. Once you get the first one formatted, it's no work at all, and you can copy, and it'll save a bunch of time in terms of having all sorts of stuff, all sorts of time savings, because all you'll have to do is copy it once you get it to look great. All right, so that's as far as we're going to get right here. Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and show you the rest of this on how to schedule it. You've already got a list set up by default. You don't actually have to set up any list, and this is going to be your general interest list. So that's who you can send it to. If you set up more lists, you can actually choose more lists here. And if we want to schedule it, then we can choose the time right here for when that's going to go out. All right. And you can keep the early results box clicked so that you can see what that is. And lots of bells and whistles that I'll share with you on the next video. All right, but that's basically all you need to do. We've scheduled that to send tomorrow. All right. And then all you have to do is click this schedule button at the top, and you should be all set. All right, so see how easy that was? Create a subject, add your graphic, create a body, and don't worry, that's only going to go to you until you have people sign up for it. All right, so you'll get a draft of that, and you figure out the list that you're going to be sending it to, and then you set up the time you want to send it. You have lots of choices. So now we can click on Done, and we've actually sent our first email, so that's exciting. Next time we'll go in and talk about some bells and whistles and how to modify some things and make them look a little bit prettier, and then we'll also talk about just lots more things that we can do here in Constant Contact. See you next time.